Hi students, I am Praveen Sebastian Paul. In this lecture, we are discussing how to convert a floating point or fractional hexadecimal number into its decimal equivalent. For that, let us consider some examples. Before going to the example, let us consider the power values of 16. In the previous lecture also, we had discussed the power values of 16. 16 raised to 0 is 1, 16 raised to 1 is 16, 16 squares are 256, 16 cube is 4096, 16 raised to 4 is 65536. And also consider 16 raised to minus 1. 16 raised to minus 1 is equivalent to 1 divided by 16. 1 by 16, which is equivalent to 0.0625. 1 by 16 or 16 raised to minus 1 is equal to 0.0625. And 16 raised to minus 2 is equivalent to 1 by 16 square. 1 divided by 16 square, which is equivalent to 0.00390625. Okay, and one more thing, 16 raised to minus 3 is equal to 1 by 1 divided by 16 cube, which is equivalent to 0.0002444140. So my dear student, let us consider an example. Convert FB.1 to the base 16 into its decimal equivalent. So as we all know, this fractional portion consists of two portions of fraction before a fractional point as well as after a fractional point. The portion before the fractional point is known as a whole number portion, and after the fractional point is known as a decimal or a fractional portion. So for conversion, what we have to do is, first of all, write this number FB.1 and consider the power values or the unit position of this particular number. So before a fractional point, the unit position of this B is represented as 0 and F is represented as 1, and after the fractional point, the unit position will be represented as minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, etc. in a fashion of decrementing by a point 1. Okay, so the unit position of this point 1 is minus 1, B is 0, F is 1. So what we have to do is multiply these numbers with 16 to the power of this particular digit positions. So the number F is equivalent to 15. So 15 into 16 raised to unit position is 1 plus B is equivalent to 11 into 16 raised to 0, unit position is 0, plus 1 into 16 raised to minus 1. Okay, so 15 into 16 raised to 1, that is equal to 15 into 16 itself, plus 11 into 16 raised to 0 is 1, plus 1 into 16 raised to minus 1, which is equivalent to 0.0625. That is 15 into 16, which is equivalent to 240, plus 11 plus 0.0625. So when 240 is added with 11, that will result in 251 plus 0.0625 will result in 0.0625. That is, the hexadecimal number FB.1 is equivalent to the decimal number 251.0625 to the base 10. So this is how we are converting a fractional hexadecimal number into its decimal equivalent. So dear students, consider one more example. Another example is 1A.2 to the base 16. While considering this 1A.2, the positional values are 0, 1, and for this point 2, the position is minus 1. In the next step, what we have to do is 1 into 16 raised to 1 plus A is equivalent to 10 So 10 into 16 raised to 0 plus 2 into 16 raised to minus 1. Okay. So 1 into 16 is 16 raised to 1 is 16 itself. 1 into 16 is 16 itself. Plus 10 into 16 raised to 0. 16 raised to 0 is 1. 1 into 10 is 10 itself. Plus 2 into 16 raised to minus 1, which can be represented as 2 into 1 by 16 also. So 2 and 16 can be cancelled, which will result in 1 by 8. So 16 plus 10 is 26 plus 1 divided by 8 will result in 0.125. 26 plus 0.125 will result in 26.125. So the hexadecimal number 1A.2 can be represented in decimal as 26.125 to the base 10. So this is how we are converting a hexadecimal fractional number into a decimal fractional number. So my dear student, consider one more example. Another example is f.11 to the base 16. So here f.11, the positions are 0, minus 1 and minus 2. So what we have to do is f, the equivalent of f is 15. So 15 into 16 raised to 0 plus 1 into 16 raised to minus 1 plus 1 into 16 raised to minus 2. 16 raised to 0 is 1. 1 into 15 is 15. 15 plus 16 raised to minus 1. 16 raised to minus 1 is 0.0625 plus 1 into 16 raised to minus 2 is 0.00390625. So which is equivalent to 15 plus, when we add 0.0625 with 0.00390625, the result will be 526014 660.0. So the final result will be 15 is added with a 0.066400625. So that will result in 15.066400625 to the base value 10. So the hexadecimal number f.11 can be represented in decimal as 15.066400625. So my dear students, this is how we are converting a fractional hexadecimal number into its decimal equivalent. So my dear students, consider this assignment question. The question is to convert the fractional hexadecimal number into its decimal equivalent. The question are, convert the hexadecimal number 10ff.11 to the base 16. Second one is fa.12 to the base 16. And third one is 1af.001 to the base 16. So my dear students, in the upcoming lectures, we will discuss how to add, subtract and multiply these binary numbers in a digital environment. So see you soon. Until then, goodbye. Thank you and all the best.